Alright peeps, welcome back to Split City, episode 9.5. A tidy little bonus episode because my laptop can't quite handle rendering an entire pedestrian paradise at once. Now in case you missed the first half of this episode, we absolutely rammed the east side of the living Split with pedestrian paths left, right, up and down everywhere, as well as laying down a full pedestrian tunnel system how the grafters split so they didn't interfere with our fancy expressway that we've got going on there. But for now, we've got to scoot on back to Terrace Hills, where we have crashes and traffic and everything due to the pedestrians crossing a few key points over here. Nothing to do with the big bumps. We've got the sign up there, you can see. It says bumping road. It's all good. You've been warned. Now this is the bit I've been dreading. For this is the Skywalk section of the video. We are going to build a Skywalk all the way doing the bottom of Terrace Hills here, connecting into the hospital, the school, replacing this too long park here. Get out of there. And ye, stop sitting enjoying yourself, get on the path. I even have a better idea for this path, so ye, pal, enjoy being the last person that used that path. Let us real casually do a little bit of landscaping here, make it as smooth as I can. So for this little connection that we like to call Tree Alley, if we can enter parks and get these tiny park suits and plonk it about halfway between halfway, a little something like that, rotate it around, do a little half and half action there, and look at that. We've got a tidy little connection through. Or at least it'll be tidy once I sort the surfaces out. Now again, that looks a lot nicer, but you can see we still have a bit of a height issue. So if you whip out the move it mod, page down on this laddie, get it as low as possible before it looks, too daft, so we'll probably say about there. Gan run to the other side and page up here until it looks a bit too daft, which I'll say is about there. And now you've got a damn right reasonable little hill and pathway up there. And I want to do the same on this side, except for on this side, I'm going to use good old-fashioned mini parks instead of tiny parks. And plop them right on the zone and square there. Oh, and of course I got a park that doesn't have the lights. Alright, time to replace the parks until I get what I want. There we go, and that'll do. I just wanted to have both the lights on the crack. So let me fix this up, make sure we don't have tables going into the ground and that. Make sure the surfaces line up, and I'll catch back with yous. And there we have it. A lot better than it was, and it's a nice little connection through. And you can still see Tree Alley there. Alright, enough putting this off. Let's do it. It's Skywalk time. Pathways, covered pedestrian bridge, 5 meters on, straight roads. Ooh, we need to go in the middle of this alleyway here. 7.5 is the lowest I can go. And you can see, as I'm bringing it along, it's creating roundabouts, which is an issue because when you need to create a bridge this bloody long, 600 meters long to be precise, you have little control over where the roundabouts spawn. But div nae fear, I have figured it out. What you can do is go across until it starts making a roundabout like now, and then bring it back until there's no roundabouts allowed. And then you've just got to do your best to try and keep it in the middle of the alleyway while you're doing that. Some of them can be a bit finagly. Like this one here, you can see it creates a roundabout on the right there. And if I bring it anywhere else, it creates a roundabout in the middle here. So I need to try and find a spot, which is right here. Only a 50-meter run, but there's no bloody roundabout. So yeah, now I'm going to do this all the way up this bit of alleyway here. And I'll catch you when I'm done. And there we have it. The beginnings of our Skywalk. Isn't she a beaut? It will get better than this. This is just the absolute beginning. Yeah, don't worry about that. What we are going to unfortunately have to do on this end is see, I know you've been here a while, pal, but we just didn't need zoning here. I'll let you move out in your own time, though. Oh, thanks for shifting quick. I guess you knew that I usually don't let people move out in their own time. But let's put our last little across the road connection on here for the Skywalk. And now that that's in, we get the privilege of checking to make sure there's no bloody dodgy roundabouts knocking about all the way up here, and so far it looks clean. You also start noticing patterns of where you can and can't place little bridges and pylons, especially when you've got a pattern like Terrace Hills here. For the height, I want to get the walkway here. Well, it's actually perfect there, like 7.5 meters, at the guttering level there at the bottom of the roof. And that should keep the bridge from being all up and down, and just naturally follow the land. Which is a bit up and down to be fair. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead, go all the way down here and make sure that these are all lining up as close as I can get them to. As you can see, some of them are way off like this one. It needs to come down quite a bit. But it's not particularly entertaining, therefore I'll catch you when I'm done. Well, now we've got our mostly covered pedestrian bridge slash snakeway here. It actually looks half decent. The next step to making it look, properly decent is to start from one edge, go along, and wherever we have a break, see here, this means that it's not a nice little angle. And to be fair, we've got a bit of a steep hill coming up. So we need to page up on this until that roof connects, which will be now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to anticipate this gap because I'm going to have to come down here. I'm going to go up once more there and down once more here because that will help coming up here a couple of times to get that all sealed and connected without breaking anything to the left. There's a bit of an artistry to it. And I've messed around with these covered bridges for far too many hours. For example, this one here, we need to go up on this one and down on this one, but we can possibly just come down on this one and we're tickety-boo. And now we have an actually fully sealed pedestrian skyway snake wheel. Look at that. It is absolutely wonderful. Oh, I love it. Look, you can see all the way through and it follows the contour of the land, you know, respecting the topography. And now all we need to do is connect the skyway to the ground level so pedestrians can actually use it. So from here, I want to come down straight to 0 meters. Oh, not if it's a 20-odd degree number, like. What about 2.5 meters? What about 5 meters? 11.6, that'll do. Let's see if we can decrease our elevation during this little bit of a U-turn. We can, look at that, 0.8 meters. And we're down to 2.5. Now, hopefully, we can just come straight in like this without disrupting anybody's zoning. I knew it! But here's a trick for you peeps. If you're going into road upgrades, upgrade the piece that's covering it to be an elevated piece. They suddenly get their zoning back. Look at that. Isn't it bloody lovely? The exploitation of the elevated platforms is what's lovely, because it's clearly still colliding with their building, but they don't even care anymore. And I reckon we need to upgrade this to be elevated as well. We can't be having one bit of key, like, get elevated. And to be fair, having that elevated is pretty key for our next little bit of pathway connection. Because you see, currently, to get from Terrace Hills out of our fancy little waterfront district here, you have to cross all of these main roads, like actually cross the main through road and everything like that. And since this episode's all about building pedestrian paradises, we're gonna have to sort that out. Oh no, what? Oh yeah, I only connected a path in, man. Oh, and you know what? It's even worse because when I go to remove this bit of crossing, it's gonna force remove that one. Oh, there was actually no point in connecting that in at all. Is everyone gonna magically get the zoning back? Nah. When was my last autosave? Too far ago. You know what? Anybody that's lost the zoning here, they're just gonna lose it permanently. Well, I hope yous are happy. And you especially are gonna get bulldozed straight away. These two managed to keep the zoning, so we'll try and actually keep these buildings here. It is by sheer fluke that they managed to keep it like, but hey, we'll leave it. And quite frankly, I see that as a little win here. We've got much nicer access down, and hopefully that is a new little crossing. That doesn't put one up there. It didn't put one up there. We actually have a crossing where I wanted it. And there's not duplicates and loads of them. And these two kept their zoning. Right, these are definitely staying. Anyone else that's lost their zoning from that last move, you can just get gone. So now we've got a tidy little shortcut path there for pedestrians. I love it. And you're convenient to losing your zoning. That means I can pop a path straight off there. Ideally snack in between here. Let's have a little gan of it. Oh, it'll be a cheeky one if it does work like. Well, let's see. Oh, bloody works. Give me a 90 degrees into the road like that. Not messing anybody's zoning up. I love it. And then let's see about doing a nice simple curve into the road like that. Oh, look at that perfect little path gone and run. And then unfortunately, because of previous shenanigans, you can see I just actually can't get a crossing here. I think it's because I removed this one and it's too close. But this is a little back street anyway. It's not on the main road, it's off the main road. So pedestrians will just have to look both ways and pay attention. And hang on, can I actually just do a straight bit of path here and not mess up anybody's zoning? Mint! Why are you taking ages to be gone? Be gone, pal! And whoa, what's going on here? We're not allowing any zoning. Nah, be gone. Knee construction. We're only saving these two houses, they're special. But there's a tidy little pathway connecting through. I like that a lot. And since we've got all this bonus real estate here, it should be no bother whatsoever to get this connected into here. Look at that, absolutely no bother. And I am loving this little connection here. It's so smooth and tidy, look at it. It's coming together. Any downtime between daily cavies, and I was planning this bad lad, thinking it all out, seeing what I could do with it. And to see it finally become a reality is bloody mint. When you've got a couple of zone hob and leg ends knocking about, you've got to commemorate them somehow. And the best way I know how to do that is with a bloody bridge. Now the reason I wanted a bridge back here is so I could convert it into a key wall just on this side. And let's see, we'll pause the game. Will it let me? Nah, I didn't think so. That's alright. You can be a bloody bridge. And with this fancy little bridge here, pedestrians will have a tidy little expressway all the way around here to what comes next. But as for now, this is our lovely little path network over here. We just need to do the other side, which does mean we can finally delete the little ramp at the end. So for this side, I'm planning on connecting straight onto this hill here, ideally at a 0% gradient. The flattest I can get here is minus 1.3, so that'll have to do. So now we're going to try and get from here down to the road. And I have a mildly clever way of doing it, if it'll work out. Now we will have to quickly pause while we upgrade this little bit to elevate it, and it does, it works! See, I noticed there was a hill in between. Well, that these buildings have chopped into the earth, and that's how we've got a hill there now, just sticking in between these little zones. But why not pop a bridge on? I mean, we do need to raise this bridge ever so slightly, so it's not actually inside that commercial building there. And we can easily do that by adding a little bit of arch to the bridge here. There you go. A little bit of arch goes a long way, you know. And now is the actual tricky bit. I need to schneck from there down to here. How steep's that going to be? Well, thankfully the gradient is covered, so I can just plop that in and pause the game. Because this needs to be elevated. And we can unpause the game. And look at that schnecky little path, takes you straight onto the schnecky little skywalk there. Right, well now we got the straight ahead in, let's get a little bit of off, ganning back to this road here. We're just going to come out at a casual 90, come along and down. Very, very simple stuff this. And we're done. That's a loop back to ground level sorted. And damn, this roof's seen better days on it. Needs a bloody lick of paint. But the next little angle that I'm eyeing up here for a path, if we come off a little bit further down and gone all the way along here, I want to connect into this little bit of cul-de-sac, just there, you know, just here. But while I'm doing that, I want to take out the minimal amount of zoning as possible. And there we have it. The big down this side path. And I think we've done an half-decent job of not ripping out loads and loads of zoning there. Now I just want to do an half-decent job of actually connecting this up here. There we go, and that's a little bit nicer now round the corner. I feel like it's only read at this point and all. Oh, look at that, we even got a bit of zoning. Well, it's definitely only read if we get a bit of pathway action up the side here. Hopefully not remove any zoning. And that's a nice little way round. Pedestrians have got mad access now around here. Now we are going to have one more bit of path splitting off this connection here. We may as well chuck it in the middle. Send it around this tree here. We didn't want to destroy the tree. And I need to come up, making sure we're clearing these commercial buildings. A little something like that. Oh, look at that. It even created a proper bridge hour, so I didn't have to faff about. Although I still have to faff about a bit. Get it out the way. There you go, and get out the way of that corner there. You're not running into this building. Happy days. Just need to real casually rejig this path so it looks alright, you know? There we go. It looks like it was always meant to be that shape, and we avoided the owl tree there. And yeah, now I'll let this connect so the calf warriors can use it if they want, which, you know, some of them are. But just like our Skywalk to nowhere over here, that's awaiting further infrastructure development. There's no point building our here now, because things are gonna change. Just a bit, if you believe that. And yeah, we go, peeps, this is it. This is the moment I've been bloody dreading. Oh! Delete the alley. We're going to connect the Skywalk here to Sheffield Street, the old main back alley that's directly below it there. So this is going to be a fun little jobby. Making it fit, making it look nice. I am going to start from the bottom though. Gone up 2.5 metres at 11.1%. I didn't mind that one little bit. And then chuck a UE whilst going up to 5 metres here. And it's a tight one, we didn't even get the measurements on, but I'm sure that's 90 degrees. And now we very simply just have to connect in there, the plus 6.8 degree gradient. And that looks bloody perfect, look at that. Yeah, now let me real casually and quickly sort this out for her. Oh, fun times with the Move It mod. How many times can I click continue? Oh, I can't keep working, alright. We're getting there, we're getting there. And there we're gone. I've got that looking what I would class as reasonable. Now please don't break when I upgrade this to be a bridge. Oh, thank you for not breaking. Well, now with that looking alright, let's whip out our alleyway again. And then we'll see just how far we can take it before it starts connecting in. I think this looks spot on. What about ye? Now, unfortunately, some people have lost their bins, but you're just going to have to learn to share, aren't you? And to top off this little connection here, we're going to pop another path on the ground, connecting into the alleyway, a little something like that. So now we've got ground and skywalk access from here. You can go across and in. Now it's time to tackle Gannon hour this bit of road here. I feel like I may as well just connect in here, get up to plus 7.5 metres off the side here, then schneck about getting out of the parks, crossing out the emergency services lane, and connecting into a new path that we're going to place on here, using our handy dandy bulldozer to see that we've got green pedestrian lines here, and green pedestrian lines here. So let's connect these up. Now we're going to start with the bridge 5 metres up a height. And then just to make sure we're connected, we're going to start from the little pedestrian side on there. And connect up to the bridge. We'll do the very same on this side. There we go. Now all I need to do is grab these nodes and shift them to... Oh, Divin Tellers, please. No, the game crashed. I knew the Skywalks were incredibly ambitious and... Yeah, nah. Oh, we're not that far behind. Let me redo this bridge, get all the levels correct and everything, and catch yous back. And there we have our lovely little pedestrian bridge gone in all the way to the hospital, connecting down onto both sides there, with enough headroom for pedestrians to get underneath there, into the hospital. And only one little world tear that lets you see down to the sea depth there. But we'll not worry about that, and we'll not have to worry about vehicle clearance on any of these bridges. Oh, the Skywalk is coming together. Now before we exit this area and start doing more of these shenanigans here, we're going to have to dezone some hooses. Namely, all of these ones along the bottom here. Be gone, hooses. And you unfortunately, mate, are going to have to be gone as well. And while they're all dezoning there, why don't we come down here and connect a tidy little path up the side of this little gap here. And I think that looks canny, shouldn't affect anybody's zoning. And then we've got a tidy little path from the bottom of this big owl strip on the side over to here. And while we're over here, we need to pop a little bridge on here and connect it on down there. And just like the other bridges to nowhere that are only for the elite of Corft, that's pending further infrastructure upgrades. You can kind of see what we're doing here, can't you? At least here you can. But for now, we've got this whole area out. It's time to do a wee bit of landscaping. And now that we've got our bit landscaping sorted, it's time to whip out our key path, find the corners, and connect it all up. Well, now we've got the path going all the way around our elevated buildings there. I mean, look at the height difference between this road here and that road up there. Let us upgrade the outside here to be key walls. And with those being key walls there, we can bring the landscape down all the way around it. And how are we looking now? That's not too shabby. Now, the landscaping from the building itself is what you see poking out. But I think that looks alright. It'll certainly do for connecting a path out the side. And there we have our tidy little pathway doing for the pedestrians. Now on this side we're going to be opting for something a little bit different. Utilising this little strip of unzonable, I want to try and pop a canopy covered pocket park on here. Oh, and this might have just decided it. We've got the hilly playground. What better place for a hilly playground than on the big bloody hill here? So I'm going to move that right up against this bit of path here. Level it to the same height as the school. Bring out the smaller path on the corner. And connect that on up like that. So that means we're keying up this side here and taking the key off this bit of path here. And that canopy covered park perfectly overlaps. Look at that. Let's plop you on there and we'll have to sort this Norna route. And look at that, we've even got pedestrians using the parks are ready to cut through. Oh, look at that, bloody beautiful. I love the fact that pedestrians are using this. You know what, let's check in up here. How are the pedestrians gone with these little paths knocking about? Oh, look at that usage. They're using them all. They're using all the paths that were put in. And bloody hell, look at that! They're even using the big path we put down the side of the estate. And once we get more of these beautiful connections in place, we'll have even more people using this little Skywalk system here. Which, look at that, we even have people using it already. All the way from there, going through and cutting the ground. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'd love it even more if the next two of these that I make come out looking as beautiful as this, with a tenth of the faff. So if we have a look at our grid here, I'm only going to want to knock out back alleys. I didn't want to be knocking out main roads here. And if we do the same pattern here where we've got one alley and then we knock it out. So this is an X alley, now motorway. And then we knock out this alley. And I only want to do 3 in total. And I think this is the correct alley to bulldoze. It's been bulldozed now, so it's going to happen. Well, peeps, wish us luck. Because I'm not going to take you with us this time. I'm just going to faff about for as long as it takes and keep my mouth shut. And here we have it, peeps. We've got our OG little ramp up. We skirt around a little bit. You're going to come very swiftly to our second ramp up there. With only one palm growing through it there. And then last but not least, all the way over here, you've got our third little number. Which was a tad dodgy to do, like it was supposedly a 30% gradient, but it had something to do with the terraforming of the land itself. But Move It Mod made short work of that, you know? So now we've got the Sheffield Skyway here. You can see pedestrians are using it. All 3 of these bloody things. You can see we've got pedestrians using this one here. We got pedestrians using this one here. And we got pedestrians, of course, using this mad bridge here to go all the way and visit the hospital and get on this side of the road here. Without having to cross the road. Even though there's still a fair few road crossings happening. I say is you better run across. It's a main bloody road. And we will fix all of this. But we need to do some development first. I mean, we've got to do something about this absolute sea of pedestrians, didn't we? And the way we're going to accomplish that is by building a big old skywalk. Right over the top of old mate Skylight there. And you can see we're at the perfect height. We're not touching the roof next door. Or posts that gun out on either side of the roof there. But we are hitting the roof a little bit here. Which makes me think we need to real casually put a little arch in this bridge. Just a little arch, you know, not major. Just enough of an arch so you can see daylight through the roof gap there. And that you can. Now on the uni side here, I plan on coming out. Going down to 0 meters. And connecting up to the top road a little something like that. And look at that, we have 3 crossings along the uni road. I love all those crossings there. And I can imagine this little bridge is going to get some bloody use when it's all set up. We're going to come over this house here, and I would love to get into the alley there, but if you have a quick look, it turns it into a bloody roundabout. So no can do. We're going to now have the house. I'm positive the homeowners don't mind. I mean, I never asked, but I'm positive they don't mind. And I've made this one a bit lower, so we're going to have to get mental with the arch. Let's arch it up. And I can see daylight through the roof there. That means we've got enough of an arch. It's the grey arches of Terrace Hills. So all that's left now is to connect this arch to this arch. Ideally, we can under-arch this and have all the roofs connect. Come on. I believe we can do it. Yes! Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. It's majestic. All of the Sims have calves of steel. They desperately want to use this bit bridge here. And this side should be easy enough. Should be in the keyword. And the pedestrians love it. Even those without calves of steel. Although they do have to have some bloody rugged clothing to get through this hedge here. Let's help them out a bit. Hedge be gone. Easy access up there. Especially if you live in this block here, you come down your little fire door, take your bins out, and straight on the little skywalk out of the bloody uni district here. Now the next path we're going to connect onto the skywalk, we're not bloody done yet. It's going to schneck its way, mirroring the emergency shortcut, and connect up to the road like that. And I quite like the look of that. We do need to do a little bit of tidying up here. Let me quickly tidy this bad lad up. And while we're on the deck there, why didn't we just real casually connect a little path over here? Need more crossings or anything? 3's the magic number. That's enough. I tell you what, I wish you could click on paths to see routes like you can with roads here. Like, look, we'll click Hickory Street. Look at the path usage, man. It's wild. People are coming from everywhere. Look how many peds are using the skywalk. It's thick as the skywalk. And you can see as less people use them, the lines get narrower and everything. And if you thought I was just building shite for the sake of it, it's all being used. Like, massively used. All of this, every single piece of path I've put in is being used. Just from the hospital routes alone, the path up the side of the estate is being used. Every single one of these little U-turns is being used. The skywalk is being used. If I click on Hickory Street, you can see people using the skywalk and the connections doing along there. The only bits of skywalk that aren't being used are the ones that haven't bloody got anywhere. Look at this, man. We even got Ben's using the new key walk here to get to school. It's bloody lovely. But it's not done. There's one final piece to this puzzle. And it's dead below. You notice we have Western Skywalk. We have smaller but more architecturally grand Eastern Skywalk. Now all we need is the great connecting Skywalk. Now unfortunately I can't place it here. I have to be really finicky with it. So the only way I can get this to actually connect up to the bridge there, which you can see when I kick it off, is to make this a little roundabout here. But I reckon I have a solution for that. Maybe. So I've just got one little bit of skywalk, which has the path going into someone's back garden. Look at that. Pedestrians will probably end up using it now. Well, let's dive in here, do a little bit of move at shenanigans, and I want to just shift this off a little bit forward so it's not over the road there so much. And then shift it back, and it's no longer a roundabout. And now it actually let me get the pillar right off the edge of that white line there. so it's only affecting the emergency services. I knew that we got that, and it's looking relatively in the middle. Aye, that looks properly in the middle there. Let's connect in on our Skywalk and drag it all the way down the back alley motorway there. Connecting it in very nicely. Right here. Now, look at that. The most beautiful, most majestic Skywalk you've ever seen. You know what? I'm gonna do a big old speedy up bit while we see this fill up with people. Because I guarantee you, it's gotta fill up with people. Well, it already started filling up with people while I was saying that. And we have people coming and going. They've had enough time to walk all the way through. I love the fact I can just make this the big back alley motorway Skyway. Let's see how thick the green line is from Sheffield Street on the back alley Skyway there. Oh, it's a thick old line. There's plenty of people using it. And up here, if we click Hickory Street, oh, now they are some thick lines. There's a lot of people going down the back alley Skyway, and where they're going? They're going off the side here, down on the path, across the school, around. They're taking all three of our little down onto the alleyways there. They're going down the side. Oh, this is bloody lovely. They even taken the unbuilt ones. Is that an old granny going down there? Old granny with calves of steel. Oh, peep this journey. We've got someone going to this house here. They're going all the way around using this little work. Unfortunately, they have to cross the road for now. We haven't built our bridges over this main road just yet. Then they hop on the Skyway, gone all the way up the back alley Skyway. And then I didn't know which one of these green lines is them, but it could be bloody any of them. There could be round here doing a bit of shopping, could be doing out. And yeah, now we will sort out this pathway here. It's a tad dangerous, but I think the locals have just gotten used to it. They just dodge and weave. As you can see, they're dodged and weaved. Now, what's the matter with these two peds? And I think it's time to just appreciate what we've done this episode. We have absolutely whooshed loads of paths in. Remember, we've got the industrial grafters path over here connecting to the dog park. We skate on through those bridges, and we've got our pedestrian path that's being used to ferry pedestrians around the expressway, so they don't have to go on the expressway, Mr. Pedestrian. What you doing on the expressway? Hop the fence and get on the path, you plebe. And you got to say thanks to the recycling centre and our brand new solar power plant there for allowing access to our paths, getting onto the expressway. The expressway that underneath here carries a big path that skirts around. We know where it comes out because of the wee mountain here and connects into the alley, i.e. our big bus stop here. But we didn't do that episode. Let us scoot our way back down the motorway here, and we'll have a quick squiz of what we've done in the living part of Split City. I tell you what, as we approach Split City, you can tell the elevation difference, can't you, from the grafter split to here? Because this camera mode, I haven't shifted the height at all. And look at all pedestrians using our big tunnel! Oh, I love this bit, bridge and tunnel. I wanted to do bridges like that everywhere, but I'll explain when we get there why I couldn't. But we got the odd pedestrian gone down this side once they've parked the car. Now they've got no incentive to gone across the road there. The majority of our pedestrians, after stopping by at the servo, gone up here. Either connect on there, gone into the French Quarter there, or they got underneath, which yeah, now we're going to do, let's get underneath. We are flying underneath the bridge, gone up here. We can connect all the way over to that path, but that's not path that we done this episode. This is a big path we done this episode. Our lovely little bloody cable stay bridge, which I'm going to come out of the path for a view. For a view with that little snaky angle. It's like a wacky wavell inflatable all cable stay bridge, isn't it? But now we're off the wacky wavell inflatable all cable stay bridge, we can realise that we need to lower this path. No, MiGly man, you can't be noticing this new at the end of the episode tour. Well, it's cheap and nasty, but does it work? Why aye, it does. You might have to duck if you're on the inside edge, but that's alright. It's to be expected. Especially when you've got the wonderful walkthrough underneath the servo / rectangle about. Bringing you out into this lovely little glade here, where you can see we've got a dog walker ganning up to the little hills over that way. And we're ganning through the quay, out to the little playground here. And by the looks of things, we're going to be ganning even further. But look at this big playground action. You're going round and round, happy to play. And you're going up over the shopping centre. And I assume we're going left like most of the other people. But look, that's completely bypassing that road that's over there. That's the whole point of this path. And I wonder, did they gone up here or did they gone left? Oh, we're going behind the cop shop. Anyway, let's not get carried away. That's not what this episode's about. The last time we went through here, we went round there. But you can, of course, scan under here, which is looking bloody schmickaroo-like. And you know what I could do here? I was going to say upgrade it to be a bridge. However, the bloody key was still in the way. Some mild rejiggery later, and we have a proper little bridge here for pedestrians to walk under. No longer are you having to walk through the key. Well, I mean, yous are, just not on this little bit here. But yeah, that mad little path, I bloody loves it. As well as all the little connecting paths that go around here, connecting up and down and everywhere you'd like them to. And you know they go everywhere you like them to because every single path that we put in this episode is being used. Especially our skywalks. Now, why didn't we take a little journey through our skywalk here? I love the waviness of it. And I am ready for a quick zoom down the big back alley skywalk. Watch out the way MiGly's coming through. And as you can see, my camera height doesn't change. And there's a slight elevation change. So we're going to get in the deck soon. Get that X-ray skywalk view. And we're back down the bottom. Another busy, chock-a-block bit of skywalk with some absolutely beautiful little pathways knocking about. And on the main back alley here, we have 0 roundabouts. But what you do find every now and again on this back alley here are these bad lads. And now look, there's enough room for a bin lorry to get past. Well, I'll gee. As long as he doesn't slam on the brakes, of course. But yeah, now, as I was saying, look at that back alley. With the bins all the way down. It looks lush. It looks mint. Well, it looks British. But yeah, now look, you've got these mad little paths taking you up back to the skywalk. And when you got all the way along the skywalk, you approach the hospital connection with plenty of ground clearance for vehicles. And quick access to the hospital for wheelchair users there. Real quick access. I suppose while we're at the hospital here, we've got the lovely key walk that goes across, connects down over there. It's used by heaps of students down here to get to the big elementary school. We've got the old hillside playground and canopy covered park there on the big hillside. It's just bloody lush. And I need to stop gushing over it. But not before we quickly cover all of this stuff. Look at this. It just cuts out of the top of the commercial buildings, connects onto existing hills to take you down and elsewhere. And you can see this pathway is being used. It's a big, long, in-between the estates pathway. And it's a proper connector. And that's it for this episode's shenanigans. Now why don't we hop on board with Hayden Murray here. He's just parked his car up and he's about to go home. And you won't bloody believe where this fecker lives. But yeah, now what an episode. I mean, it feels a bit heckers for me because it was quite difficult getting all of those paths in and looking reasonably decent, you know. Bear in mind, every single one of those paths is functional. It all works. It's great. And all those pedestrians that are now just not on the roads whatsoever. Traffic is flowing like a dream around Terrace Hills. And I'm not entirely decided what I'm going to do next episode. I believe it's going to be a development and detailing episode. We're going to pretty up all the little spots that have been annoying us for far too long. I do hope you've enjoyed this pedestrian madness. I want to thank anybody who sat and made it through this entire video. These are the type of videos I used to love for City Skylines. And then attempting to make placing pedestrian paths entertaining for what's probably over an hour at this point. I hope I've done yous proud. But anywho, enough of my yapping. Enjoy Hayden and his doggo walking home.
Wacky Weevil inflatable arm sweep. It's like a Wacky Weevil inflatable arm sweep bridge. Cable stay bridge. It's like a Wacky Weevil inflatable arm cave and stay bridge, innit? But now we're off the Wacky Weevil inflatable steel cave stable bridge. But now we're off the Wacky Weevil inflatable arm stable stay bridge.
Bye. Oh, Kinder Bueno.